Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So today we're going to be talking about a new gun control law in the state of California that I had previously missed. And unlike yesterday's video where we talked about two of them that were passed and signed into law but haven't taken effect quite yet, this one actually took effect already. It took effect on January 1st of 2024, and this one is going to have an effect on your wait time. So as it stands in the state of California right now, there is a 10-day waiting period. Well, this could see it go to 30-day waiting period. So let's talk about what's going on with this new law. Now, speaking of California, post-Bruin, there are a lot of new people getting their carry permits for the very first time. And let me tell you, you do not want to go it alone. If you carry to defend yourself or your loved ones, you need to get attorneys on retainer, and I'll put a link down below. Attorneys on retainer is not some big blown up company that uses a third-party insurance company that's filled with a bunch of bean counters that will determine whether or not they're going to cover your claim. Sometimes a self-defense scenario doesn't work out exactly like you would imagine, and you could be the one that ends up in handcuffs. And I don't want to be speaking to some guy at an insurance company for that. With attorneys on retainer, they are attorneys. So when you give them a call, you're speaking to an attorney on the phone, your first contact, which gives you instant attorney-client privilege. It is absolutely priceless to have in your wallet. Now, your membership with these attorneys actually gets you quite a bit. Coverage in all 50 states, 24/7, 365, emergency line, licensed with a staff attorney. 100% of your criminal and self-defense fees are covered through trial. Free strategy sessions, additional non-self-defense legal matters. So if you have something else that you might need an attorney for, 35% off all of that. Coverage for bail bonds, expert witnesses, investigator fees, emergency contact card that's going to give you the information that you need. And again, these guys will cover you when others will not. So you definitely need to check out Attorneys on Retainer. The link again is down below, and I've got some significant savings for you down there as well. So check that out. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what's going on here. So in the state of California, there's already an unconstitutional 10-day waiting period. A right delayed is a right denied. So when somebody goes in to get something, they fill out their paperwork, they submit all their paperwork, and then from that moment, it's 10 additional days. Usually the shops will have you pick it up on the 11th day because they don't want to spend all their time watching the clock saying that you filled out your paperwork at 3 o'clock. We have to wait till 3:10 or 3:15 in order to release it to you. They just give you a date that's, one day after. So it typically ends up being like 11 days, and it is absolutely ridiculous. Now, this was intended, or at least the way that they sold it to people, was that it was supposed to be some type of cool-off period, right? Because they just expect that if you're going in there to get one, that obviously you must be up to something no good or something nefarious, and they want to give you time to rethink whatever it is that you're planning. That's what the whole thing was sold as, a cool-off period. But now it's turned into something else. They've sort of told us what it's all about. And supposedly now what it is, it's to give them more time to conduct the background check on you. Now keep in mind, this is separate from NICS, okay? So when you go in, you fill out your 4473 and everything else, it still has to go through the FBI's background check system. You have to go through the entire NICS process. But California has their own. Okay, and California is about as efficient as a snail on the freeway. I mean, it's just not something that works out whatsoever. So they now have this 10-day window. A lot of times it gets done fairly fast, but they still make you wait that additional, 10 days. Regardless of that, okay, there was some stuff that happened back in 2020, right, that caused some staffing issues, that caused some shortages, and they weren't releasing things to people for a long time, 30 plus days, I think it was. So there were lawsuits that were filed against the DOJ for doing just that. Obviously, you already have a right that's being delayed, and now you're delaying it even further. That's going to be a big problem, and so there were lawsuits. So they decided to write a law to give themselves the authority to extend that out further. Now, they didn't just extend that out to, let's say, 30 days, your waiting time, just for another emergency like, what was experienced back then. No, they decided that they're going to extend it possibly 30 days just in case they need more time to research you or to look up your records. Basically giving themselves this nice big 30-day window to deny people and anybody of their rights. So, let's read it right here. Okay, so this all stems from AB 1406, which again took effect on January 1st of 2024, and it essentially authorizes the DOJ to hold your transaction for really what's up to 40 days because they have time to request a delay after, let's say on the 9th or even the 10th day before you're ready to pick something up. They can then authorize a delay, and that delay could be up to 30 days. So you could be looking at a 40-day delay. But it says here, right here, effective January 1st, 2024, the first bullet point authorizes the department to request a delay of the delivery of a firearm if additional research or additional records are required to determine a purchaser's eligibility to possess a firearm. So again, if they just need more time to research, they can request that delay, and it could run up to 40 days. Authorizes the department to request a delay of delivery of a firearm for up to 30 days if an emergency, as specified, causes the department to be unable to review records to determine a purchaser's eligibility to possess a firearm before the conclusion of the 10-day waiting period. Now, that's not to say that the NICS check didn't come back and already state that you are eligible, right? So when you go into a shop, everybody's got to fill out a 4473 and you got to go through the NICS check system, right? That could come back and show that everything's fine. But if California's own system is having an issue, that's where they can request that delay. And they can request, like I said before, they can request that delay on the 10th day of your wait. Now, I love that California thinks that this is okay. I mean, there's already a lawsuit challenging the 10-day waiting period, and it looks like that eventually we are going to win this one. So the 10 days is already going to be too much. There's other lawsuits challenging other states that have even shorter times, 3 days. That's unconstitutional. A wait time like that is just absolutely absurd. And as a matter of fact, as much as I read, this is a book that I've read through multiple times where I get a lot of my constitutional facts. It's called The Constitution of the United States of America and Selected Writings of the Founding Fathers. This is a great book. It has absolutely everything in it. If you guys are interested in one, I guess I'll put a link down below. But stuff from John Adams, Franklin, Hamilton, Hancock, Henry J. Jefferson. This was given to me by a friend a while back, and it's got such great information in it. But one thing that is not in here is that the government can delay your rights for any amount of time that they choose. I haven't read that in here at all on any of our amendments. Okay, so there's nothing in here that says that the government is allowed to delay a right. That's just not there. So obviously what California is doing is just completely unconstitutional to begin with, but they are so negligent in their duty that they are willing to extend that out, again, to that 40-day time period, and that's in effect right now. So basically, if anything happens, I mean, let's say that, I don't know, there's a big earthquake or something like that, right? Or there's some other natural thing that happens, and now they have a little bit of a staffing issue. Instead of saying, hey, we're just going to go ahead and go along with NICS and allow NICS to take care of everything, no. California is going to delay you through their own system, and, well, essentially they can stop people from getting anything for over a month. And I'm sure, given California's record, that they could extend that out even further and just say, oh, sorry, we weren't able to finish it. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that. That's one that I missed from last year, but I still think it's a very important one because I'm wondering how many people are going to get caught up in something like this. If you have a name that kind of matches somebody else's, and or you have some information that's there that they might need to research a little bit longer, instead of having that solid 10-day period, which again I believe is already too long. Any wait is too long at all. There shouldn't be a wait period. But they already had that solid 10-day period. They had to be finished by that 10 days or else the shop could release it to you. Now they've just given themselves like unlimited time. Over a month now they have to look all that stuff up. And it's just getting a little bit out of control. So hopefully we win the lawsuit that's challenging the 10-day. That would make the whole 30-day additional wait basically null and void. And that would help out other states as well. But there's a lot of lawsuits that we need to win in the state of California because if we don't see some good progress out there soon, stuff like this is just going to continue to come up. Again, they pass this without even worrying about it. They don't even think the constitutionality of it at all. And to be honest with you, if they did, they don't even care. So I wanted to share that with you. I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. You guys have a great day.